Welcome to the mystical land that is joannaland. I am your host, Joanna Dryling, and I am beyond excited to be on this journey of transformation over a lifetime with you. This is a space dedicated to your highest evolution and our collective igniting a deeper humanhood. Let's roll, baby. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll share the same room. Hello, my love. We are back with another episode of joannaland, and today I'm talking to you about, and we are unpacking my 100 days without alcohol. I really am like so unbelievably proud of myself to be able to come to you and say this to you. Really. So to give some backstory, I've done some episodes about alcohol and some different things and shared about my journey with it. And in February, and if you haven't listened to the most recent episodes, I've been navigating quite the grief portal. And in that grief portal, I was so aware of my tendency to want to bury myself in alcohol and cannabis to avoid feeling my feelings. Or with cannabis, at least like intellectualizing the feelings versus actually allowing the loops through. But with alcohol, I knew, it's that thing where you're like, at the end of the day, I need a drink. It's been a long day. I need a drink. No, to me, that was always something that didn't sit right with me because that just made the long day longer, inevitably, because of what it brought up in you and how it brought in the next day and all of, So in February, I decided to fast. The intention was to go cold turkey off of everything. So alcohol, cannabis, coffee, TV, and I think that was it. Oh, and really, really reserved spending, really tight fasted spending. So basically just bare minimum spending. And so basically just a land of self-discipline. And wow, I've been reading the book, The Way of the Superior Man, which required reading for every human who's in relationship, 1,000 and freaking frack percent. Holy shit. And the way that he describes, David Data is the author, the way that he describes discipline is so beautiful, where I'm going to paraphrase this. This is not going to be his perfect words that he used, but that self-discipline does not come at the expense of self-sacrifice. It is actually in the name of your higher calling and your higher evolution, and that in enacting the discipline, you are doing it in and through loving action of yourself and your devotion to the higher path. And wow, I have chills saying this. It's that just so perfectly summarized why I chose to let go of alcohol. Was not successful with the cannabis. I've still been leveraging that as a tool, but way more mindfully than I was since giving up alcohol. And so in February, I decided that okay, maybe we don't go cold turkey crazy on all of these things. So I went cold turkey on coffee and alcohol. Alcohol, January 26th, and coffee was the Friday after that. And then for the rest of February, I didn't drink any caffeine. And I've lightly reintroduced caffeine at this point. But I'm not, your girl doesn't need it. Let me tell you, I don't think she ever really needed it, but it was had been so long, 10 years of me freaking drinking coffee every morning that there was a reliance. And now, if I drink coffee, I'm wired. Anyways, okay, I'm digressing. So I decided to give up alcohol in February. And once I got through February, I had a family ski weekend, the first weekend of March. And I decided within myself, I was like, okay, that's not the best time to reintroduce alcohol. I mean, that is the most triggering of environments that I've been around in like since giving up alcohol. So like truly I haven't been, in the most triggering of my environments, and we'll get to that at a point. But like I went on this family trip and I was like, okay, if I can go without alcohol for this weekend with my family around me in a ski retreat, ski weekend, après ski vibes. You know what I'm saying? That was that's a previously very activating and overstimulating environment that I would have handled by drinking to handle it. Like really, like yeah, because okay, I'm over unpacking things. Let me keep this story together and we'll get to these gems because there is so much sitting here. And yeah, so I got through that weekend. My dad was there. My divorced parents were together for the weekend and I didn't drink. I had one sip of alcohol that weekend and I was like, nope, don't want it at all. I had a few like non-alcoholic beers. I am loving those bevies, but like I genuinely do not feel it necessary to reintroduce it at this point. And yesterday is celebrating May 5th. Ironically, Cinco de Mayo, is 100 days of me not drinking. So as I'm recording this, 101, and I don't really think I'm going to reintroduce it anytime soon. I might just try to go for a year because Lord have mercy. Let me tell you how alive my spirit feels. So let's begin unpacking these gems. Now that I've given you a little bit of like why I stopped and like what was calling me into that. Now, let me first give at least a little background that like over the course of 2023, I was aware, and ironically, a year from recording this episode, oh my God, a year ago. What a difference a year makes. A year ago, I got super wretchedly drunk at a Cinco de Mayo party and made a choice that would change the trajectory of the year and kissed my best friend and drunkenly blackout. And that was when I was like, wait, I need to reevaluate this relationship with alcohol, not with this man. Well, yes, it did call me into questioning and reevaluating my relationship with this man, but like, it also caused me to like think about alcohol because it's like, okay, why are you allowing like that substance to be the way that you allow him to finally express the way that you feel about this man? So anywho, over the course of the summer, but like I had always, yeah. So I knew at that, and like that was always my issue with alcohol is ever since I started drinking 10 years ago, more consistently with college, my issue was not so much daily drinking and just always having a drink when I get home. It was more so binge drinking and then drinking to a point that then I become uncontrolled in the drinking and then I black out. And that's the problematic thing is I black out. There was one time I ended up in cuffs and almost ended up in the Richmond, Virginia city fucking jail for the night. Yes, I am sorry, mama. But like, shit like that, like, and that's just stories. And that was, a pattern for 22-year-old Joanna that's like semi-acceptable, still living in your college town. But for me, a 30-year-old blowing almost $100 in one day on fucking alcohol because you're out in Grand Rapids, Michigan with all of your homies and then driving your friend's car home drunkenly to his house. Lord help me, that man, if he ever would forgive me. And like, yeah, so it's those types of patterns, whereas like it was continuously happening. And like in Tulum, if you listen to the Tulum episode, I took 2 weeks off of alcohol. And that was a real moment where I was like, okay, this is really clear that like I need to experiment with this deeper. I've taken like 4 weeks off here and there, like 2017, September, October, I think October 2017, LOL. I am so good with dates. And then in the pandemic, May or March into April 2020 is when I took the last break. And so this 100-day break is the longest break that I have had from alcohol in over a decade. I probably started drinking consistently in 2011. And the thing about blacking out is that once your system and your nervous system is like oriented towards that, it's like more likely to happen. And like I have one of my best friends from college that's like our bonding moment. Not so, I mean, there's other bonding moments, but like one of the things we bond over is our tendency to black out. And so like I, as this woman who is leading this movement of honoring, honoring and loving myself, my life, the whole of this world, and like this evolution of igniting a deeper humanhood, my thing that I needed was to ignite the deeper humanhood within me to honor myself, my spirit enough to let go of this. So I let go of it for that 4 weeks, and we're out here letting go of it for a while because like it's just an experiment. And right now I feel such a lively dedication to my spirit within myself to maintaining this. And I think I will reintroduce it, but not yet. So let's dive into some gems that I have been uncovering within this. The biggest thing that I have been aware of is that how much, let's first dive into how much I was under the influence of alcohol when I wasn't drinking alcohol. Like, because the habit was consistent enough to be once a week, at least, at the very least, especially when I was in more overstimulating environments. And that is that there are a lot of choices in my life I probably would not have made had alcohol not been involved in my life, which is a very daunting truth, which if you have not taken more than a month break from alcohol since you started drinking more consistently, which for a lot of us is college and after turning 21, like take a break. Take a break. Take a fucking break, because you are still that spirit, the spirits. It's called spirits, y'all. And it's a poison, it's a literal poison. I could feel it poisoning my system. Part of the reason I let it go, like in December, I had 2 drinks in December before Christmas break started, basically. And like it changed. That was part of what inspired me to go full hog in February, is because like I did feel so much better because I didn't have this poison going into me. And when we are putting this poisonous spirit, when we are putting the spirits into our bodies, it is dampening our spirit. It is dampening us. I literally feel like in my more drinking moments, I can now track back to when I was drinking more and that I had more clouded judgment and more like distorted decision making. And that is powerful to look back at in retrospect. And that's in retrospect. So now if I do reintroduce it, I get to look at that in such a beautiful way and hold it in honesty that like, okay, we're going to be more mindful about how we interact with this thing because of its level of influence that it has. Because it doesn't, if your like liver is constantly processing and detoxing alcohol, it never really gets a chance to really detox the alcohol because you put more back on it the moment it finally expels it from your system. And after 100 days, like we ain't got nothing in there, you know? So that's one of the biggest things. And that's a really, really honest point. Like you have to have with yourself. And that's, I think, like, okay, what am I trying to say? It's tough to get that honest with yourself, though. And it's tough to actually have the discipline and the devotion to keep yourself from something that is a coping mechanism that helps you soothe yourself. So that brings me to my next point, actually, gratefully, that when you remove the thing, when you remove the thing that you've been soothing your feelings and your sensations and really deep-seated emotions with for more than 10 years, full-fledged expect for all of them to erupt out of you like a fucking volcano. In more ways than one, like a fucking tidal wave, like a fucking tidal wave. You know, I think I mentioned in my return episode that I've cried every single day of this year so far, and that is still true. 2-3 weeks later, I don't know, woohoo. And, I was talking to one of my best friends the other week or the other day, and, she made a really great point that it's like, yeah, you're crying every day, but you're crying every day. Like, you're not suppressing it underneath alcohol anymore, bro. And I was like, thank you. Like, I genuinely needed to hear that come out of your mouth, because that, yes. So, and our running joke between her and I is have fun with your feelings. And it's just so funny because it's like, no, we haven't fun. We haven't damn fun with my feelings. And that's what I've been doing and I very specifically wanted to take every distraction away from me in this grief portal and throw myself headfirst, full throttle, tunnel visioned into myself, my future, my vision. That was the other thing. I wanted to let go of it because if I found out I was pregnant, I wouldn't be able to go. I thought I wouldn't be able to go 9 months without alcohol, 9+ months without alcohol. And it is so genuinely important to me to carry a child and do so in a way that's healthy for them. So that's part of this experiment. And so that's almost my goal right now. It's 9 months. Just because of that, just to see if I could go that long without it. If I all of a sudden up and knew I needed to stop drinking. I mean, hopefully I'm not even drinking once the child is already conceived. And I think that's a part of like the problem with such a heavy drinking culture, quite honestly. Anyways, okay, I'm digressing. Letting go of alcohol and no longer having this thing that I was allowing to be my coping mechanism that I was using in October and November to just suppress every aspect of my spirit, because that was like what I wanted to do. I was choosing my fear. I was choosing the cloud of darkness, and I wasn't feeling anything. I mean, I was feeling things. Like I said in that return episode, like I was feeling things. I thought I knew myself. But wow, like once I actually got to the other side of, once I got to the other side of letting go of alcohol, I could see more clearly how much I wasn't feeling to the depths that I could truly feel. Like we were kind of just like scraping the surface, right? When like really we think about it, like, and we've got to be mindful of to what capacity we are actually truly available for and like what's going to re-traumatize us. But like we need to be mindful that for some of us, our trauma is like literally going to the depths of the fucking Pacific Ocean. And like that's a high level of pressure that's going to potentially cost you to fucking burst and die. So we need to be really mindful about that. And that's like a super extreme example in this realm. But like for me, I was literally like, I was operating my emotions like I was like a ship on the water versus like a being in the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so letting go of alcohol allowed me to really like drop into my emotional realm. And like, yeah, I'm crying every day, but like I'm feeling a lot. And here's the thing about crying every day and going to the depths of my sorrow is that going to the depths of my sorrow and also allowing myself to meet myself in not allowing a substance to supersede the evolution, a substance to supersede the focus that I was developing in myself and the love that I was cultivating and the esteem that I was reconnecting with. And And letting go of alcohol allowed me to more deeply connect into that emotional nature in a way that was just genuinely not available to me on so many levels beyond just the influence of alcohol. I really hope I finished that train of thought properly in the way that I had intended, but I sort of lost it. So yeah, within that, I think we need to acknowledge that when we have our coping mechanisms showing up more often, it means that there's a higher level of stress in our lives. And we need to be, instead of going to the coping mechanism more, we need to be looking at ourselves and the circumstances that are creating a high level of stress that are leading to the increase of coping mechanisms. Because really, though, we need to, and like, again, don't recommend going to the depths of the fucking Pacific Ocean by yourself without professional help, but like, you can go to the depths of some certain waters by yourself. You can go there. And like, we need to learn how to navigate those emotional waters within ourselves more properly and without suppressing them, without trying to cloud them with something else, because that's inevitably what any sort of a substance or coping mechanism that you're using is doing to it. And it is inherently perpetuating the problem. Alcohol, especially, inherently perpetuating the problem. Like, especially like, anxiety, we all know, our least best friend. It's our least friend. It's like our enemy. But it's our enemy that we're okay with meeting however often we drink alcohol. Think about that. Dead ass. Think about that. Like, we all hate anxiety, but how many of us are willing to unmeet the anxiety, to be like, wait a second, I'm not okay with you being in my life anymore. I'm unavailable for this damn relationship. That it's yeah, I love a good cocktail. Genuinely, I love a good buzz. What I don't love, anxiety. No, and like, there's no amount of like pacing and water that's really going to detract from what that alcohol is doing to my body on a physiological level that's still allowing anxiety to present itself, which is what was happening for the course of 2023. And I was like, no. In February, I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done having this relationship. I'm done having this like anxiety. Like, I'm done communing with you every weekend. I don't want you anymore. Like, no, it's not a relationship I'm available to be in. You know what I'm saying? And like, so yeah, but your girl loves a non-alcoholic bevy. I'm telling you, like, I'm loving these alcohol-free things, like the alcohol-free Prosecco. Like, I just had my first alcohol-free mimosa the other week, and it was just like on a sunny Sunday. Oh my God. It was just perfection. Okay. Let's see. Under the influence, feeling the feels, there is a third primal point that was coming through about letting go of the alcohol. Oh my God, I got it. Yeah, so my favorite point. And thank you. If you've made it this far in this episode, thank you so much for being here, truly. You also still get the 50% off to the Energy Alchemy Masterclass just for being here and being a part of the community, because this is what I've been traversing. Like, let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay. Anywho, if you are here, Dada, I love you. I love you. Okay. Point 3. There is something truly marveling about astonishing yourself. I actually did not think I could go 100 days without alcohol. I have had like 1 or 2 sips over that time, but like sips. I'm like, nope. Like, my body is rejecting it at this point. It does not want it. And and even still, I did not think I could go 100 days. Like, a year ago, me could not do 100 days. Did not have enough strength of will, I'd say. And I think I was just more okay with avoiding all the things. which led me to where I ended up last year, which is why I cut myself off from avoiding the things, you know what I'm saying? So when there are things, like if there is something that you are like, I can't let go of this, like for me in cannabis, that's my next edge, man. And I don't think I can go 100 days without it, but I don't really want to. I don't have the same relationship that I had with cannabis I don't have the same relationship that I have with alcohol as I do with cannabis. But when we let go of that and we can actually hold that level of discipline as defined earlier, if we can hold that level of love and, oh my God, let me say it over and over and over again, but honor, 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 which inherently means hold in high respect or high esteem, to hold in high esteem. If you can honor yourself with a daily choice like that, to not go into the coping mechanism, to not choose the thought pattern you're addicted to that's making you sick, like to not, whatever the thing is, if you can choose the opposite every day, just a daily choice. We're not talking about 100 days, but a daily choice to choose and honor yourself. A daily choice to honor, honor, honor your spirit. The level of empowerment that's going to build within you is literally priceless. Literally priceless. Because if you can do something that you literally never thought you could do. Lando Norris, perfect example. Yes, I'm kind of an F1 girly. Lando Norris won his first F1 race yesterday. He'd been on the podium 8 times, more than 15 times. I don't remember the actual stat. Do not kill me. And he won his first race yesterday. And like the man who, like, we all have a 4-minute mile. We all have this thing that we think is absolutely impossible to do. You might believe that the thing that is impossible to do is to live in joy. You might believe that it is impossible to not be a victim. But I'm telling you, if you choose differently, for the sake of honoring yourself, for the sake of loving yourself, for the sake of honoring your future children and the rest of your lineage, both those who came before you and those who will come after you. Because this choice to be without alcohol is not a choice just for me. It's a choice for my future husband, and it's a choice for my future children and my future family. And that's empowering as fuck. You know what is also empowering? Going into a brewery and being not only a solo girly, but the sober girly. And that is like also a new high level of, like, that's also the other edge of astonishing yourself. And the other piece of empowerment that comes with this is like, there are a lot of situations that I would not have put myself into that I just was like, okay, let's go. Like, I don't care that I'm the sober one. Like, the levels of I don't give a fuck what you think about me now is unfounded. And guess what? All of those environments that I felt like were overstimulating when I was drinking, or like I would come again under the influence without being under the influence, when I would come into like Massanutten and base camp, for instance, it would be so overstimulating that the only way that I could deal with it, I thought, was drinking. Guess what? The better way for me to deal with it is taking a few deep breaths and remaining centered within myself and emitting the love that I am. Because that's the other thing, is like why those were so overstimulating for me is I've also realized in letting go of alcohol how deeply clairsentient I am, and how much alcohol was fucking up my spiritual gift or fucking up my ability to connect to that spiritual gift, and on a way deeper level, and that it was really clouding my sentience. And so like, but I was sentient. Like, what I was feeling was everybody's energy in the fucking room. So like, when I didn't know how to deal with it, I drank about it, you know, like literally Mexico, perfect fucking example. That first Friday, I was so overwhelmed by that environment that like, That's what I chose to do, is just drink about it and get in the vibe. But it's like, no. Anywho, I'm digressing and this is becoming really long. But that is the other piece, is like, of letting go of something for greater discipline, is you really find your power within yourself, because you're proving yourself wrong. And it's like the best feeling ever to be like, I'm wrong. Like, it's the best feeling of, no, wait, And I think, like, we're not available to be proven wrong, a lot of us. Like, so many of us are more committed to being right than to the collective winning, or to like actually having means of feeling good and like, So let's see. I'm beginning to feel very complete. Let's see if there's anything else in the realm of freaking astonishing yourself and empowering yourself. I mean, now coming into the summer is going to be my real test on whether or not I can hold all this. But genuinely, like, it's like, okay, a lot of these environments where I really loved to drink, did I actually enjoy being in them, or was I just overstimulated? But there's like so much of a higher energetic protection for myself now. And like, I've gone to multiple breweries by myself as a solo sober girly. Some have better non-alcoholic options than others, but like, I'm trying to meet people in town. So yeah, I'm going to get out of the house and get out of my shell and do something where like, it's a little weird for me to be like journaling at a brewery by myself on a Saturday with a freaking, what are they called? Oh my God, not a spritzer. It's not a spritzer. It's oh my God. Oh my gosh, what is it? Oh my gosh, what are they called? Freaking frack. Oh my gosh, shrub? Shrub? No, it's that vinegar-based drink. What the freaking frack is it called? It's very shrubby. I think it is a shrub. No. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, drinking that. But and then I made friends because I'm me, and we got into the vibe. So, yes. All this to say, you can do it. All this to say that, like, us living in joy is not just something that, like, is just imaginable. Like, we don't even have to imagine it. It is not even within our imagination. It is actually within our being. It is available to us within the field, even if we do not think it's available to us in the field. But its ability to arrive in the manifested field requires us believing that it is available to us in the field, okay? And it's available to you. I promise you that it is available to you, and it is way more accessible to you than you think it is. But unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, it is on the other side of you avoiding something that you don't want to look at, and it is on the other side of you going deeper to some depths of the ocean that, yes, you're gonna need a oxygen tank on your back for. And think about what you will feel when you get to the surface again. And when you actually have like moved through it and gone to that depth. Because let me tell you, wow, I thought I loved myself before, but wow, getting myself through suicide, can't even say it, but getting myself through suicidal ideation and like seeing myself through that and not is okay. I can do anything now. Thank you. Okay. So there is so much power in feeling your feelings, and we talked about that on multiple episodes, but that is just the theme of the season. Have fun with your feelings, my friends, and I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you soon.